Welcome back to Do-It-Myself Garage. 2003 Mitsubishi Galant. I have a thermostat that appears to be sticking open. I keep getting an engine code that says the engine's not warming up fast enough, and a couple times in cold weather the engine temperature kept dropping, so not a good situation. Obviously you want the engine temperature to be up properly, and also I want to have heat. So it's going to be the end of the year here for that, but I am really tired of when it keeps throwing engine codes. So let's get started on this, get her tore apart. It's tore the top of the engine. It's on the opposite side of the water pump. So let's get the hood open and get working on that. All right, so my understanding is the thermostat is directly underneath this air intake. May or may not need to remove the battery, but definitely got to remove the air intake piece here, so you can get down in there. Other people had recommended taking the battery out for access, which is probably what I'm going to have to do. We'll see. Let's start digging into it. Let's get this cold air intake out of here first. First thing I'm going to do is take this guy off of here. And he's attached to the air box, so I'm going to want to disconnect him. Just a little plastic clip that's being stubborn. There we go. So I got him pushed out of there. This is where your air cleaner is. Doesn't really take a screwdriver to get it off of there, but why break my pretty fingernails? Okay. Looks like this has got to be disconnected. Looks like there is a clamp on that. And then I'm not sure how to get this off. This should just push off of here. And we'll find out in a second. Maybe this one comes off easier. Oh, that came off pretty easy. Okay. Looks like I need a wrench for that. Looks like it's probably 10 millimeter. Yeah, and it was not even tight. Okay. Need to get around the other side of you here. It should just pull out of here. But obviously, there we go. There we go. This whole thing will come out now. So follow that hose. There's the fitting right there. And so I can see why they say take the battery out. We'll try to do it without the battery out, but I don't know if I can get my fingers in there. All right, before I break that loose, that's a 12 millimeter bolts on there. Before I break that loose, I better empty a little bit of the antifreeze out of the system. So I'm going to take the cap loose. This is not a sealed system like some of them. So as you can see, I've got antifreeze in there. I'm going to open up the petcock on the bottom and drain it down into this little pan. If you can see it, I've got a little plastic pan. I'm going to drain some of that in there, so hopefully it won't make as big a mess. And that pan's nice and clean. I want to reuse this antifreeze. Alright, thought I was recording. I popped that loose. I got the bolts all out. Here's a new gasket for the thermostat. Honestly, I don't know what side it goes on. The gasket part. I guess goes around the thermostat. Hugs it. Okay. There's a little groove in here. And that goes into that groove. Okay. All right, now I got to get the old thermostat out. I was able to wiggle on this. The thermostat goes in, so it'll sit into the engine block just like that. I just need to get enough room to wiggle that old thermostat out of there. I might have to take some of this other stuff apart in order to get in here. There's a little 10 millimeter that holds that electrical thing to the thermostat housing. Alright, so I was editing the video and realized I didn't show this the best. So there is that 10mm bolt right there. That holds the electrical harness in place, but that is attached to the coolant outlet for the thermostat. So if you want to do this without having to remove the battery, the best thing to do is to remove that bolt. Comes out pretty easy, there's not a lot of room there. And then when you loosen that up, you can push the thermostat hose and that little housing down, and that's how you can get the thermostat out. So I realize it's not a very instructional video if I don't actually show you anything. I ended up doing this entire thing without removing the battery. So from this side, there's the housing, there's just an elbow, and just right behind that, where I was just showing you, is that 10mm bolt. If you take that out, then that entire housing and everything drops down, and you can get the thermostat out without having to remove the battery. But as you can see, there's not a lot of room. So if you want to remove the battery, it's not a big deal, but it can be done without doing that. I think I'm going to take this bolt out real quick. That should make it a little bit easier. Oh yeah, definitely want to take that loose. When you do, now I can move this whole thermostat housing and a hose out of the way. And then, get a screwdriver in here, pop this old thermostat out. Yep. Now she's coming out. And antifreeze. You would think it would have all drained by now, but nope, she didn't. She's all over my floor. I drained all that. Well, I suppose the thermostat was closed, so that's why I didn't drain that. Okay. Why couldn't this be the one time it stuck open? Okay. Okay. So I push that hose down out of the way. There's the old thermostat with the gasket around it. Oh yeah, gasket's failed, so it's letting stuff through. Who knows, the rest of it's probably on its last leg as well. Anyhow, new thermostat going in. Let me clean off my hands a little bit. I don't want to get any contaminants in here more than I have to. Okay, so I'm going to push this hose down and out of the way. That's how I got the old one out. Push it down and out of the way. And I just kind of wiggle it. I wish I could show you. I couldn't get a camera in here. I think if I tried. There we go. And it just goes right back in. And she's in place. Just got to put the bolts in now. That's all there is to it. So I didn't want to work on this when the engine was warm, but maybe I should have worked on it when, I don't know, it was warm enough for the thermostat to be open. I wouldn't be able to get my hands in here without burning myself. So kind of a catch-22. Anyway, be aware you may get antifreeze everywhere, even if you try to be good and drain it like I did. Probably don't even be worth draining it then, because the only part that's going to leak out is going to be the top part of the engine anyhow. Okay, come on. Thermostat needs to go in there. One of the tricks getting these started, hold on to the socket so you can get the thing to ratchet so it doesn't turn backwards when you go back, even if it's not a lot of drag on the bolt. I learned that a long time ago. There we go. Well, not much to show here. Sorry, guys. Really like to show a little bit more of what I'm doing, but pretty tough when everything's hidden. And I really didn't want to take the whole battery out if I didn't have to. That's kind of silly. Oh, come on. Well, gotta go back to the other side. It's more coordinated over there. Alright, finally got that one run down there. Now I'm gonna do the one on the bottom. I ran it in pretty much all the way by hand. And okay. Guess that wasn't on there as far as I thought it was. Alright, top one. Okay, that felt like that bit. And this bottom one. Same thing, want to run it down till it's tight. Remember, this stuff is just aluminum, so don't get crazy. I'm sure there's a torque spec. It's called whatever the aluminum will do without breaking. Torque spec. There we go. I pretty much guarantee that's not going to leak. Okay. Let's close up the petcock. Don't go very tight with that. I go just a little past finger tight. It's about all you need. Alright, let's see if I can pour this in there without making a horrible mess. Saved me about a gallon of antifreeze anyway. Alright, realize I just filled it up without showing you guys what I was doing. Didn't have the camera pointing in the right place. I had it recording, but not in the right place. No apparent leak over here, but that doesn't really mean a whole lot because the system's mostly empty. Radiator is mostly full, but I'm going to start it up and run it. And then I have to add some more antifreeze as we go. Once that thermostat opens up, that should suck a whole bunch back into the engine block. Alright, let's fire it up first and then see what we get. Hopefully it doesn't shoot out of there. Other cars I have do not. Oh, you know what? I probably should put the air box and back everything on this thing, otherwise it's gonna, with all the sensors and stuff, it's gonna freak out. Oh, plus this other bolt. Almost forgot to put this bolt back in. This holds this electronics thing. With my luck, that's a critical piece. So yeah, definitely want to take that one off of there. Otherwise you'll never get that thermostat housing apart. Okay. Throttle back to where it goes. Hook that thing back up. Instead, we gotta put this air box back where it belongs. Otherwise, it'll probably screw everything up and I won't want to run. So put this stuff back. Otherwise, you'll probably regret it. And this throttle cable went over the top of this. Okay, put that back on there. Shut it back on there without breaking it. Because Good luck, everything's freaking brittle and old. Like me. Oh, I got her back on there. Okay, hallelujah. I don't think that thing was tight before. I wonder if that caused any problems. There we go. All right. Air box back down. Latch. 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 And latch. Plug this connector back in. You see, here's the thing that I was talking about before. This little clip on here. And it just pushes into a little mounting bracket. There. Okay, she's all back together. The only thing that's not is the cap is not on. So, we should be good to start. Garage door's open so I won't choke myself out. Thermostat opens. Let's see if I can see any leaks over here. No, I do not see a leak. The vent cock, not leaking. The only antifreeze is the stuff I spilled on the engine. She has a 190 thermostat. Yeah, I'm sure that was causing problems. Who knows? Didn't hurt to replace it, that's for sure. What do they have in here anyway? 88 Celsius. I'll have to convert that. I didn't even look at my new one, what it said on there. Alright, she must have opened. Starting to draw down already. Okay, I got the cap over here if she starts to warm up and expand on me. On these, it's okay to fill them all the way up because I got the overflow and that pulls back in. More full than that. There we go. I think what I'll do now is I'll back her out, get all the antifreeze clean up on the floor, then bring her back in and then I can watch for leaks. Take her for a drive. See if I can get that engine coat to go away. I have the little box to reset it. good. Follow cable. All set, man. Alright, so all in all, that wasn't too bad. A little bit of a hassle getting at those bolts. I'm sorry I really couldn't get a picture down in there for you. Really, you're working blind. You do need to take that one 10mm bolt out of that electrical piece. Otherwise, you really can't push that whole thermostat, the elbow and everything out of there. Once you get in there, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's pretty easy. If I hadn't been filming, I could have done that in an hour. I did make a bit of a mess on the garage floor, so be aware of that. Maybe I could have taken the hose off at the radiator and drained the front part. You know, that might have been a little bit easier, a little less mess. I have plenty of kitty litter. It's not a big deal. So anyway, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all those other things. If you have questions about this, let me know. I picked up that part at a local, parts store. It was like $27 or $28. I'm sure you can get it cheaper somewhere else. Rock Auto is always a good place, but they kind of always get you with the shipping. So unless you're ordering some big item, you kind of breaks even because of the shipping. So anyway, thanks again, everybody, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.